Alright, what's up everybody? We are here casting the EPT Korean Grand Finals. It's Dark in the bottom left side here, and his opponent herO in the top right. And this is always exciting because Dark is scrappy. He's a player I've been quite vocally critical of recently, and I know I saw a few people getting a bit upset in the comments, saying, hey, you know, he's cheering for Dark to lose all the time. I'm not. I just really want to see Dark go back to a more Ravager-ling Bane playstyle rather than the Roach Hydra, because he has been struggling against the more modern Protoss openings that especially herO and Trap have been putting forwards. But the reason why I like Dark and his normal playstyle is because he's so active and he's always capable of making comebacks, and I feel like Roach Hydra is one of the few styles where he doesn't get a chance to really leverage those amazing mechanics that he has. Now, he came over with a drone, but he wasn't really able to block the Nexus, so I kind of question the drone harass here and say, okay, maybe you're worried about a cannon rush, but if you are going to send this drone, I think you should send it really early and actually block the Nexus. So he does miss out on a bit of an opportunity there, and he's also following this probe even though he's confirmed no Forge. So Dark here, once again, with one of his very inefficient openings, he's got a guy following the probe even when it went to the natural, and a drone on the other side of the map. Even though he is harassing the minerals a little bit, and herO is responding with his own probe, actually, he's winning the drone micro. Oh, go Dark. Captain Dickhead, go, go, go. He's harassing those minerals as well as he can. Okie doke. So the probe's going to circle around. Now you've got the best comeback Zerg up against the most chaotic Protoss player. Both players you can't really count out of any game because they're so capable of making just dirty, ridiculous comebacks. They both play very well in scrappy situations. herO famous for not really using control groups properly. But Dark also famous for his kind of haphazard openings and macro techniques, but his ability to roll with chaotic situations is second to none. For anyone who hasn't seen my Rhythm in StarCraft video, it's about 5 years old, about 2017, 2016, I made a video talking about how hard it is to kind of keep your rhythm with all the macro actions and things you need to manage in StarCraft, specifically because your opponent's trying to disrupt it at all times. And that's kind of what StarCraft is at its core. It's you're trying to get in a rhythm of doing things on your schedule when you want to be doing them, and your opponent's trying to throw you off. And it was kind of like a little verbal essay, but the backdrop for it and what I was talking about was actually Dark in his Grand Finals map versus Beyond on Sejong Station, one of the greatest displays of Zerg play of all time. 2016 BlizzCon World Championship Grand Final. And I gotta say, what Dark did there was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. His first-person view vision was just absolutely insane to behold. We could see that up on the big screens. If you were watching live, there was big first-person view screens on either side of the main screen. Ooh, doesn't manage to get the Spore trick off, but a drone for an Adept, you'll trade any day. Of course, the fact that he'd already lost one drone, which I believe was the Scout, is not great, but one drone for an Adept, pretty much every Zerg's happy to take that trade, so he's all right with it. So anyway, long story short, guys, basically Beyond had, this was when Reapers were bullshit, and also the tanks could be picked up and dropped in siege mode. They did a lot less damage, but the ability to drop tanks here, shell your opponent, they'd come to deal with it, and they just pick up the Medivacs, boost, drop them here, shoot again, pick up, drop them back here, boost, shoot again. It was complete BS, and Dark managed to withstand Beyond attacking him on Sejong Station. Go look up that map. And a map where Beyond was hitting him in 3 or 4 places, over and over and over again for about 20 minutes straight, and Dark just refused to buckle, kept injecting, kept defending, kept microing, kept mainarding drones, kept pulling drones away from harassment, non-stop for about 20 minutes, weathered the storm, got to ultras, and rolled him over. And I've never seen such a display as that. It was one of the most beautiful just handlings of a terrible situation that I've ever seen in my life. And because of that, Dark will always be very, very special in my mind. A lot of people say that they think he won that world championship. He only lost because of balance at the time. And a bit of a pause does come in. Let's talk more about this game, guys. This is Glaive Adepts, but it's very light Glaive Adepts. So notice how he's forced out Roaches, a lot of Lings, Queens. He's kept Dark on a low work account, and he's already transitioning into 2 Stargate Phoenix. He uses the Warp Prism there to clean up the Overlord, takes the 3rd base on 5 minutes. The 2 Stargate Phoenix is going to be coming up behind it. A very good style. And guess what? Lair goes down. Dark did build around a drone, so he's equal on workers. And the thing is, if he realizes what's up, he needs to build just crazy worker numbers. But he also needs to keep some units at home, because this style that hero's playing here, where he swaps into Stargate, he's still got all of his adepts alive, and with glaives, they are an absolute drone slaughtering force to be reckoned with. He's probably going to try and sneak adepts down the right side and keep shading them into the third base as well. But for now, Dark's defense is very good. 4 queens in the main defend. He only has 5 queens in total, and yet he scrambles 4 of those queens into the main, doesn't even let them unload. Very nice play by herO. And here we go. Ravagers are starting to pick off these units. The Prism is going to be dropping over to the right side as well. Okay. Queen is going to come forward and start hitting that one. Now, 56 drones are out versus just 46. There's no probing going on right now for herO, which is a bit lazy, I feel. He does have 4 adepts with glaives and a battery. There's nothing you can do against that as the Zerg, especially if he put 1 adept up there, it would stop the battery getting surrounded. So cute little thing you can do with your placement. So far, the Observer, the adepts, they're trying to limit the creep spread. It's getting past 6 minutes. He needs to get up those Phoenix and move across the map. Remember, guys, only 5 queens. And because every tumor he kills and makes him respread, that's 1 less transfuse, right? Maybe not exactly 1 less, but it works out to be that way, because if they're on 25 energy and not 50, no transfuses. And he's using up all of his energy, which means these Phoenixes, they fly across, could do big damage. The Prism in the back at the same time. herO gets in there, kills 6 workers right now, and he saves every single unit. Guys, herO has only lost 1 adept in this entire game. The Phoenix are here, but there's only 6 of them right now. Where are the rest of them? The Lings are trying to shove in the natural, but easy defense here for herO, grabbing more Overlord kills. Right now, he's not actually fighting the queens, though, and he's actually stopped at just 6 Phoenix. I thought he'd go for way more. Adepts redrop in the natural. 4 more workers do go down. That adept says, let me take down another one as well, up to 11 total workers killed, 13 in this entire game. Dark still has a healthy enough worker count and a 4th base on the way. He could bounce back from this. He's got a Spire coming in, but ooh, that Prism dangerously low. Does get a few more workers here. The adepts are all going to fall. Prism has to go back and regen its shields. Overlords and drones falling in the main base. Dude, hero's getting some really nice damage. Those queens were a little slow to rotate up here, bringing that total killed worker count up to 20. Now, only now has he got a small worker lead. Remember, herO did cut workers to do all of this. He's swapping into a Blink Stalker style behind this. He's still building Immortals, so he's got a fantastic anti-roach force. And the thing is, Corruptors, 5 Corruptors coming out, not going to be the best. herO, the classic F2, does F2 his Warp Prism back. He should have sieged that up in the corner, knowing that he was going to F2, because that is his primary way of controlling his units. As you guys can see, herO, of course, has interchangeable control groups. What I mean by that is whatever he looks at most recently goes on control group 1, and then the next one is on control group 2, and he's constantly changing what's on those control groups. So his control groups, you can see, an Observer goes on too. It's never set to a certain army or units. It literally is, number 1 is where I looked at last, and number 2 is where I looked at just before that. It's the weirdest system, and it's always changing, but it's why he's so comfortable in the chaos. It is also why he makes a lot of mistakes running units into their death, but it's the cost that he's willing to pay to be able to just fluidly manage insane situations without feeling out of his comfort zone. He forces himself into the chaos so that he's never feeling like he's out in the dark woods. Other players go, oh man, my control groups are messed up, I can't play. herO goes, oh, my control groups are messed up, it's a normal game of StarCraft. And that is part of why he's so good in these messy spots. Dark has a similar sort of ability to handle the chaos, albeit with, of course, the ability to actually control group. A bit more organized. Main army 1, Corruptors are on 3, which it looks like he may have tried to do a PP on the Nexus, but Stalker Warp in, a cannon does defend it. This 4th base is a little late for herO, and that means his probes are way oversaturated. That is the one thing that's hurting him right now, but just the sheer number of workers he's killing is insane. He is up to 34 workers killed. Oh my god, that's epic. Mass Ravager is out for Dark. He's going to play Ravager Bane, and this excites me. But there are Disruptors coming in. Disruptors, very good versus Ravager Ling Bane. Definitely a style, though, where if you're on this sort of army, Broodlord Transition can be good. Ultra Transition is good. Because he's already got 4 Immortals, Ultra's not going to be amazing. But if you both trade, you kill a few Immortals, then you build Ultras, they can be fantastic. Or if you get Blinding Clouds or Abducts down on those Immortals, both of those are amazing. I talked a lot about how good Hive is recently, because most Protoss players are playing Blink Stalkers into Disruptors, and that style is, by its very nature, super weak to upgraded Lings, upgraded Ultras, and Vipers. Abducting Disruptors does, of course, cancel their shot. Here we go. Phoenix are going to go down that left side as well. We've got Adepts over there. And we've got the 4th base on the left side here as well. Okay, we've got Fleet Beacon on the way, Templar Archives, Charge is on the way. How many gateways? 8 gateways are there. Oh! Oh, I mean, I guess they're not the most important unit anyway, but it does feel nice for Dark to finally get those kills. What's he going to do over here? Does find those Adepts off on the side, cleans them up. It's a very mid-tier army. Mass Ravager, Ling Bane. Raynor and Dark are the few Zergs in the world who I feel like are comfortable treading water on this composition. The Banelings do add a bit of oomph to it, but thankfully he is adding 7 drones and a hive, not a moment too soon. Because the Protoss player herO, he's getting closer towards a maxed out army, and not just that, he's doing something I've been wanting for a while, which is players to start the carrier transition earlier. So many players have been getting stuck on Stalkers and Disruptors and being like, me try headbutt on creep. Oh, it not work. And I've been saying for a few weeks now, and I was really trying to convince MaxPax of this when I was chatting to him, because I feel like he's been one of the most insightful people that I've had good strategy chats with recently. And I was like, ooh, is that Prism? I don't know, I think it was just a Phoenix. But basically I was saying, hey dude, if Stalker Disruptor can't really get killed, it's just hard to kill the Zerg, like, why don't people use that a bit more just to get into the Sky Toss late game, get into a handful of carriers? Because a lot of the times these Zergs are stuck on not the biggest economy, they don't really have all the money in the world, and if you start that carrier transition at 140 supply, you know, you start the second Stargate, the +1 air weapons and so on, I think it's really hard for them to deal with, and this is a bit later than I would like. +1 air weapons and 2 carriers do now start, the Mothership starts as well. herO, a big fan of the -400. To be a true Protoss player, one has to sacrifice something. And 800 resources. What else is going to convince the Kala gods that you are a true believer? Dark is getting to late game though. And on the other hand, it feels like herO has given up momentum in the game. And that is a bit of a problem, because Dark is a late game god. I don't really know how herO's late game is. I think of him as a momentum-focused player. I don't think of him as being very good the later the game goes, but I don't really know because we don't see that much of it. Banelings and Lings do get some trades on the cannons, just lowering the amount of static D, looking for openings, running Lings into the main and the natural is actually always good against herO, because herO never leaves a unit in his wall, literally ever. On the other hand, he has plenty of gateways and he can warp in reactively. And he always has a cannon in each mineral line from 3 base onwards. Because he F2s so much, herO realizes that you just, you know, he's like, I'm never going to have a unit in the wall, so I just get those cannons up and accept it. Triple Spire going down, guys. Oh, no, double Spire, because that's the second Spire. First one's making into a Greater Spire. More upgrades, Ultra Cavern. Spores starting to be built across the middle of the map to reinforce as the carriers do come out. 3rd and 4th Stargate are up. And the carrier count is growing. Stalkers are really trash units in the late game. They don't achieve much. Ooh! Adept still being useful here. They're not going to be good in the big maxed out army, so you might as well trade him out. Kill 5 drones, take a few Banelings on your way. Why not? Clear some creep with the Stalkers. herO doesn't really seem to have an attack timing in mind. Does need to get that +2 air weapons is the other thing I'd really like to see here for him. Nidus Worm on the way for Dark. He's got lots of different tricks available to him, but he doesn't want to just headbutt. He can't be stiff in this late game. He's got to be flexible. He's got to find the thing that herO will not be expecting. And definitely getting some momentum with Mass Ling could help. He's going to go for a Mass Baneling blow up on that Nexus on the left side. It's going to be an expensive move for a Dark that does not have a lot of bank. But if he can open up some angles for future run buys, that's part of it. A sort of, I think, an idea a lot of players need to get used to is the idea that if you've got a good economy, you can take a bad trade to clear all the static, blow up a base, and then your follow-up Ling Wave suddenly have an angle to get in, and that's exactly what Dark's looking for here. Because he doesn't find any probes, he's going to try and just run past into this base. So many cannons there as well. Nidus in the main, Zealot Warp in will clean it up. Uh-oh, herO didn't pull probes. Oh, he pulls probes a bit late, and he will lose 13 workers there. Nidus Worm in the main does go up. Nothing's been put there to deal with it. He's going to try and push down the front. Broodlords take out one of these Disruptors. The Spores are trying to move over. Dark just pulls away from that base, but he's already taken out a few of these Disruptors. The army does snipe a base. Another Nidus Worm up in the main. As I said, there's no Stalker there. Probably want a Phoenix or something like that on this side to deal with those Overseers, but these units will deal with it. The Changelings are going to move in deeper, try and maybe throw some Nidus Worms up here as well. How many Broodlords? We've got 8 Broodlords. It's not that big a ground army. Storm has been made. Big Fungal Bile combo. Oh, he lands a lot of Biles on that army. Maybe not as many as he could have, though, because he had to dodge the Disruptors. Banelings rolling into the middle of it as well. Oh, just barely misses that carrier with the Biles. Dark trying to counter carriers with corrosive bile. This is the classic Dark move. So for those who don't know, Ravagers are bloody useless units in the late game. They cost 3 supply. They have really shitty DPS, really shit life. But Dark's like, hey, if you mess up and I can like fungal your whole army in place and drop biles on it, I technically can kill capital ships with this tier 1 shit siege ability. And yet he regularly pulls it off first, the best players in the world. I have seen him kill Zest carriers many times with it. Doesn't necessarily win the game afterwards because it is, of course, indicative of a bad situation. But right now, herO is pulling off the big mama. It's the Zest recall attack. herO says, Zest, this is a tribute to you. Mad lad, let's go. The Corruptors are there. And that army does get recalled into the main. The Zealots in the bottom right have been dealt with, though. A bit more chaos would be very conducive here for herO. herO does have recall available right now. He definitely can recall this army if he wants to. Disruptor goes forward. Dark running up the ramp like a savage. His Ravagers eat giant balls there, though. Mama is going to go down. Minus 400, 400. The Corruptor's coming out. There's no anti. Yeah, you got to recall. You have to recall. 1 ball and 2 Zealots do get left behind. And not a bad trade, taking out the Hive and some tech and all that sort of stuff. herO's still 5,000 resources ahead. herO hasn't really built a great economy, though. Has he, right? This base is not saturated. Has he not been transferring workers? Where are his probes right now? Oh, he still had probes in his main base. His gas just ran out. But yeah, he doesn't have the biggest worker count. He's going to go Tempest now, which is very good for picking off Broodlords from afar. But if you do that, you need Archons and Storm to fall back on. So he's adding Archons. He's got, oh, he's also got tons of, he's got 8 High Templar. Oh my God. Yeah. So the idea is you bait them into the fight, and that's when the Storm and the Archons do the work. He does have the Archon Storm here. The Tempests aren't here just yet, but feedback's on the Queens. He kills a few drones. The hatchery takes a lot of damage. Got to watch out, though. If he got caught by a fungal there, those High Templar and that big clump could go down really bad. Right now, though, there's only 1 Infestor. That Infestor for Dark needs to rejoin the army. Dark's thinking about doing some stuff with some Ling Run buys, but battery overcharged cannons are defending. Another base is on the way for herO. herO right now is very much focused in one big blob. He does not have a mobile army to respond. He does not have free supply to warp in with either. He's adding an Oracle to tag to get the vision. And Dark, he's building a few more Infestors, but he's also investing in like Baneling Nest, Ultra Cavern, remaking a lair. He can't make Vipers right now. He's only got 1 of those. And I do think Fungal is going to be absolutely crucial against this big stack of High Templar. 6 High Templar in the army, 4 Archons. That's some scary splash damage. Now, he can't warp in, but remember, you got Cannon Battery in every base. Does it matter? These Zerglings aren't going to find anything. Dark is very good at usually winning games with these little Ling Run buys, but herO respecting it, puts down a lot of cannons, a battery in the back as well. And we've got the Tectonic Destabilizers. That's the Tempest, plus 40 damage to building upgrade kicks in. Uh-oh, Queen's in the open. One of those Queens will get taken out, as well as a little bit of creep here. Broodlords are in the open, but oh, where's the Archon Storm? herO's army caught out of the open. Big Parasitic Bomb. The Corruptors are going to dive in on top. The Storm and the Parasitic Bomb is going to slaughter the Interceptors. Every single Interceptor went down so quickly there. In total, only 9 Corruptors have died this game, guys. But you could see the Interceptor count drop down instantly because he was storming his own units to get the Corruptors, and there was also a Parasitic Bomb on the Carriers. So they lost all their DPS, and in that situation, it's only the Archons and the Storm that scared those Corruptors back. A very scary fight for herO. He's lost 5 Carriers in this game for 9 Corruptors. Definitely seems like those are pretty good trades for Dark. And you can see the units lost gap starting to close. Dark is a dogged, bloody bastard in the late game. He will not go out of this easily. He's adding his 2/2 air upgrades. He's rounding him out. He's taking this base. And herO has not taken advantage of the fact that Dark is a turtle. Right now, Dark is inside his shell. herO, if he had this base mining, while attacking this side, like, I feel like he could be mining resources out of the middle. This game is going to go to that point. But herO, I mean, I always criticize players for not taking the middle bases and mining them out because we always talk about it. Every single load of minerals, every 5 minerals you take off a middle base is 5 minerals damage that you're doing to your opponent the longer the game goes, right? herO, though, is so much about killing his opponent. Remember, he never thinks long-term, right? If there was ever a guy who just can't waistband it, he always just, he feels that the blood rushes to the wrong part of the body, and he just clicks. He just clicks. He doesn't stop to think about it, you know. herO, even as he gets older, he still has the same flair that made him such a good young player, which is a cavalier attitude. It's an almost suicidal cavalier attitude, right? It really is Charge of the Light Brigade shit, and he is going to go for it again. Here we go. Prism in the main. Speed Prism Immortal Drop says, hey, tech structure, Goodbye, Mr. Ultra Cavern. That cost you a lot of minerals and gas. So good moves here, just using the prism. If I was Dark, I'd send a single Corruptor to hunt that down. But Dark apparently is just going to ignore it. A random Immortal accidentally walked in on the ground as well. Wanted to be one of the boys. Okay, what do we got? Carriers and Tempest coming on forwards. Broodlord Corruptor here. He's only got 3 Infestors, guys. And how many? We're down to... It's still 6 High Templar, but they're maxed on energy. So that is 12 Storms available. Oh, Lingbane Ravager rolls in. Blows up the pylons and depowers it all. Very nice. Remember, these Banelings aren't cheap, though. These aren't exactly cheap trades. Immortal Prism will come back into the main base. Tempest Carrier picking off 1 or 2 Queens at the front. Mama comes forward, and she is going to use her lasers to burn that one down. Meanwhile, let's keep an eye on the front army. Remember, a Fungal on those High Templar, followed by a good volley of Broods, could definitely end this. 2 Corruptors go over and clean this up. You're going to need to build some Zerglings or something. 32 Lings are building, so they will be able to take this out. You don't want to lose your second Hive. That would be very annoying. But with the Lings popping out, should be able to take care of these Immortals. Solid on the ramp, though, making it hard for the Zerglings. They're like, what is this, early game ZVZ? Are these 2 Queens? Finally do take that down. It is, of course, +3 Adrenal Gland Zerglings. 3/3 on the way for the air units of the Zerg. +3 attack, +2 shields already done for the Protoss. herO here with a scary army. He's making more Zealots. Oh, left side's under attack, though. He warped in Zealots on the right side. He's going to lose a base. Oh, the Fungal. That's the Fungal I was talking about. He gets 1. He chains it. Can he finish off the High Templar? He gets 1, 2, 3 High Templar have gone down. There are 3 left in the back there, but the Carriers are taking massive damage. The Corruptors are taking some big storms, but they've already killed most of the Carriers by the time that's impactful. The Corruptors now pull back. Oh my god, the Infestor does go forward and get itself killed, but the Corruptor Micro has been absolutely insane. herO venturing onto creep, way too overeager. And look at that, all these red hit point Corruptors are gonna live to see another day. That is a terrible fight. herO immediately, he does the Protoss thing that we see every Protoss player doing late game, guys. He remaxes on Stalkers because he thinks the most useless unit in the game, in the late game, that's what's gonna keep me alive and win the game right now. Make those basic tier 1 units, the Roach. It's like when you see a Zerg remax on Roaches in late game and you're like, ooh, you know you're dead. Yeah, he's making more story. It's completely all in. I mean, there isn't that much Lings on the ground, right? So the idea is, hey, he's got 20 Corruptors. If I remax on enough Stalkers, I can blink in, kill the Broodlords, and win the game. Problem, +3 melee. Adrenal Gland Zerglings ruin Stalkers, man. 13 probes do go down on that base as well. He's going to just dive right now. Maybe he base trades it and you abuse his recall. Actually, that could work pretty well. He did deny the base on the right with the Zealots. Maybe he can get a Zealot warp in to deny that while these Queens... Oh, 2 Queens go down, but there's Ultras as well. Oh, man. That spells disaster for herO. He does snipe one of them down. But, dude, Lings popping out is all you need as Dark right now. The Hive is going to fall. Very cute play. He's trying to just focus down the Ultras on the ramp. He gets one. He gets another one. Oh, man. herO's Micro is actually so good. He's getting some pretty cool trades here. And as much as I shit on people for remaking Blink Stalkers, herO might actually make me a believer. For once, I might stop shit-talking this move just because this looks so cool. He was in such a bad position. I still don't think it's great by any means, but he's picking off a lot of Ultras, a lot of tech. But as the Ling forces get together, it could get in trouble. Oh, the Fungal! He does get one of the Spires, but now he's lost so many Stalkers, and he's gonna try and get out with a handful of them. But yeah, it's not enough. He does dive in there, gets a hatchery snipe with the Stalkers from across the map. But it's so expensive, man. He's losing so many Stalkers. Only 2 Stalkers got home from the left side. And what is he going to do? He's going to make Archons now. Mass Archon Storm Stalker. Yeah, I mean, you can do it. You can actually beat a Broodlord army with Storm, just clearing the Broodlings, hitting the Broodlords, Stalkers and Archons clearing through. You can't just go Stalker Archon. You do need Storm as well. 1 or 2 Storms on the Zerglings will clear them up very quickly. Having enough Archons clears Lings very well. Quick recall, very good reaction by herO here. And he does recall those Archons onto that base. Dark clears a bunch of the static, though, and then does pull back. Prism in the main, getting chased. Remember, though, a Prism in the main is literally, it's a permanently boosted medevac, dude. It is so fast. The Corruptors cannot keep up with that. And army on this left side as well. What do we got? 2 Mothership and 2 Tempests. They know that they are sitting ducks. They're just going to hide right now, but that Mothership will get recall in about 30 seconds, so definitely could be used to extricate this army, even though recall's off cooldown, right? So that's the whole idea right now, is, hey, I don't have recall for ages, but, you know, maybe. Tempest does go down, but a few Corruptors fall to the cannons. Overlord's in the open, but Dark is already at 200 supply, and you can see that's not dipping under. He already has too many Overlords in this game by far, so Dark did a bit of an Elaser in this game, overbuilt Overlords, even though he's lost all of those extra hatcheries that provide supply, so that just shows that he definitely did the Elaser. And oh man, the mothership doesn't have energy. No, she was meant to recall the army out of there. Oh no, he was grouping up for the recall, but he gets caught. The Stalkers do blink forward. They take out the Broodlords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but there's still more Broodlords back. The Fungal stopping the Stalkers from finishing the job. The Archons do clear the Lings. The Stalkers are going to get some of the Broodlords, but they're not going to be able to finish them. He does get quite a few of them, but now the Archons are trapped. And the Archons, with no way to deal with those Broodlords, they're tiny little T-Rex arms. They can barely even pleasure themselves, let alone deal with a Broodlord hitting you from that far away, dude. This is like having a 16-inch reach on your punching, and you're up against a guy with 80-inch reach, you know? It's not fair, man. It is not fair. The Archons are like, oh, please, let us get under there. Ugh. The Broodlords are just laughing. And actually, really bad micro at first. It took him a long time to stutter step. Dark's gonna lose some Broodlords. Why aren't you stutter stepping, Dark? What are you doing? Okay, well, he's distracted because there's Stalkers on the right. That's why. As always, herO is pressing the multitask. Is herO actually gonna win this game? Guys, he killed enough bases over the last few minutes. He's been so far ahead in income after those base snipes. He actually managed to kill all the Broodlords. There's one Broodlord left that's trying to waddle over here. He's gonna go for a desperate Corruptor Viper counterattack. Guess what, guys? Corruptors don't kill anything. The Greatest Fire went down. He can't make more Broodlords. Infestors are trying to kill the Stalkers with Fungal, but he's got so few actual units. He's making Roaches right now. I told you guys, you know you've lost the game when you're remaxing on Stalkers. Well, guess what? He's remaking Roaches 27 minutes into this game. Both players are deep in Dicktown, and it's definitely time to go wee-wee. It's time to go wee-wee. That's your path back into this game, Dark. You gotta go wee-wee. That base was in the open. He could have wee-weed. Okay, he does now unzip his fly after a moment's hesitation. He doesn't want to get another citation for public indecency, but he just might here. The Stalkers come in. They say, oi! Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing? But Dark, he does manage to urinate in public. He takes down the Nexus, gets out to the left side. Come on, Dark. Okay, he loses like 4 or 5 Corruptors. Well worth it for a Nexus, though. Remember, there's not that many bases mining. The Vipers, Parasitic Bomb, an Observer, and a Prism down. We've got a decent bit of mining there. 4 mineral patches. That's almost out. This is getting pretty lowish as well. He's got about 2 full bases of mining for a little while. Another mass Archon Stalker Zealot army. There's just nothing there. He's got some Ravagers, and he's got like 1 Broodlord. I mean, the Ravagers are good versus this army, especially with Fungal. Neural! He's gonna go Neural! Neural! He says, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Dark with a sick Neural here. He's gonna get a few hits off, then does that. Oh, he gets a Fungal with the Infestor. As it pops out, he steals another Archon, gets a few friendly fire hits. Okay, it's all about Neural Parasite. He's gonna get another Neural. He's picking off these Archons one at a time, and he's using them to get damage on herO's other units at the same time. Very cool moves. herO does not have detection, but herO is still sniping bases. He's still doing damage. These Neurals, why are you hitting yourself? herO is like, I'm not. Fuck off, big brother. Dark had way less stuff going into these fights for the Infestors. Deal with the Archons, and another big Fungal. The Spine Zerglings surround. I can't believe it. herO's army looked unstoppable, and yet it gets wiped by Neural and Lings and Spines and Fungal's amazing Infestor usage. On the other hand, he snipes almost the entire economy of Dark. Dark loses all of his hatcheries again. He's got next to no mining. If herO can defend this left base, he's still gonna be ahead in this game because he's actually mining, and he has so many more workers to use. Now, Prism's gonna go in with a Stalker drop. He wants to snipe that hatchery. This is the sniper crew, guys. He goes, we gotta finish what we started. Little does he realize the Ravagers are on his case. herO goes for it. There's no way. Oh my god, he's gonna dive. Blinding Cloud, Blinding Cloud, Blinding Cloud maybe? Parasitic Bomb, Oh, 32 hit points! It survives! Dark defends the hatchery! What even in the hell? Oh my god, the hatchery survives. Guys, this is his last base. He's now rebuilding another base there. He tries to warp in 2 Stalkers, and another Parasitic Bomb kills the Prism. As I said, guys, herO always clicking with his dick. He has absolutely zero self-control, and when you show him a hatchery like that, look, he's got Stalkers running in that he wanted to blink down the cliff. He is so friggin' randy right now. He can barely contain himself, dude. I feel like we're watching a Beavis and Butthead episode. Like, oh, yeah, I'm so horny, Beavis. Yeah, that's herO right now. Dark is like, dude, that's inappropriate behavior. Get away from my hatchery, man. And he's still got a piss squad ready. So If herO moves out of position, these Corruptors could come in and pee on the Nexus. Some people might be wondering, Pig, this is not a very professional commentary. Guys, when the game is this good, I'm sorry, I get excited and I cannot contain myself. My lack of professionalism has to give way to my absolute fandom of chaotic StarCraft games, where the players have to show their immense game knowledge and ability to roll with the punches in the scary positions. herO does cancel that base. He's going to try and take this middle left base. We see how important these bases are as the base mines out of resources. The PP squad is still waiting, man. The Public Indecency squad, they can P from the top left. Won't even be getting hit by a cannon. I mean, what do you got? 3 Stalkers, 2 Archons, 4 Immortals, 10 Zealots. But he's got High Templar coming in, which could be huge. But there's so much Infestor Viper. And that's where the crazy efficiency can come in for Dark. Oh, the Corruptors go front on. And actually, ooh, he gets another citation, dude. 2 Corruptors go down. He's only got 4 left. 1 is almost dead. The battery overcharge saving the day there. So herO with a pretty good fight. Dark's going to try and take this base. They're both rebuilding. herO has so many workers, he can instantly saturate like any base he takes. Honestly, he should long distance mine from this base as well right now. There's so many minerals on this base. He should start mining from that. I'd like to see him clear up the extractor and stuff as well. Maybe get in the main just to clear up the tech, but of course he's a little worried about that. He does clear up the vision here. And 4 Immortals. Oh, he's got a Storm drop. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's so many spellcasters. I don't even think feedback's necessarily the way to go. Something you guys do have to remember is feedback will one-shot a full energy infestor. It'll never kill a full energy Viper because a Viper has too many hit points. The maximum you can do is 100 damage if it's a 200 energy unit, because it's half a damage per point of hit points. They did nerf that a few years ago. Used to be 1 full damage point. Here we go, Storm drop though. Watch out for the infestors, dude. Neural. He's going to Neural the Immortals. He's going to Neural the Immortals. They're going to break through that static so easily. herO, got to get out of there, man. herO just going to have to leave this base, leave those Immortals. Quite a bit of gas he's leaving on the table. Of course, he does clear out all the tech in the main base at the same time. Mama's on the way. I don't know why he's building Mama. I guess there's only 4 Corruptors. And if he can kill the Overseers and stuff, she could definitely do some stuff. Time Warp could help out. This army's got to be careful. You don't want to lose these units. There are guys coming back to deal with you, herO. If you throw these units away, you are in trouble right now. The income tab is over 10 minutes of massive advantage for herO. But of course, he's been making lower tier units. And remember, you might be like, well, look how broken Protoss is. I'm going to preempt the YouTube comments, the Twitch chat comments. Look, they just have more money. Or look how broken Zerg is, I guess, would be the comment there. You got to remember, guys, he's investing in low tier units and he's throwing them away to kill the economy of Dark repeatedly. There's a reason why he's in this position. The High Templar do drop out. Oh, nice fungals to kill the Observer as well. But look at that, dude. Even though he's feedbacks the Vipers. Oh, this is so scary right now. There's no splash damage left. There's 4 High Templar. I don't know if he has any Storm, though. Battery overcharge. Bile's coming on in. Oh, that Storm is the very definition of juicy. Oh my god, how do you like your Ravager breasts cooked? Nice, plump, and juicy, says herO. You know, flame grill them on a nice high heat, but then just pull them off at the right time so they're still nice and moist inside. Holy shit, absolute Aya Chef here. Oh my god, and he does an accidental Microbial Shroud. Dark takes massive storms to the face. Oh god, herO. Just here with the absolutely sick High Templar drop, and his Templar, his Stalkers, another double storm comes in. Where are these Templar even coming from? I do not know. But dude, the Speed Prism Stormy drops are just killing it right now. He is smashing through Dark's army. You can see both players are nearing on 69,000 resources. Now, for those who don't know, this is a win condition we very rarely see. It's actually a draw condition. If both players hit 69,000 resources lost at the same time, there is actually a piece in the code, a bit of an Easter egg, and it does give you a 420 blue screen error. So if it hits that point, if both players hit 69,000 at the same time, this will be a draw game. Keep that in mind, guys. That is one of the quote-unquote hidden rules of StarCraft 2. Dark is way behind, but he's still got some infestors, but not much energy on them. Oh man, maybe with some Sick of Ducks and Blinding Clouds he could do it, but his Vipers are a bit far behind the pack. Good Fungal, good Blinding Cloud, another good Blinding Cloud, but I don't know if he has the firepower. There's just too much Protoss. herO dives in, Mama's even here, and what an insane game. I thought that Dark was going to win that, but then he remade the Stalkers and he went and dived and he killed how many bases? He killed 9 hatcheries, a lair, and 2 hives this game. He killed 12 bases. 12 base hatchery sniping. Oh my god. And in the end, Dark did hit 69,000 resources lost a little before herO did. GG, well played. That's just game 1 of this best of 5. What the heck? Down here in the bottom left side, we got Dark in game 2. He put up a fantastic fight, and I really thought he got himself back into that game, crushing that first carrier army. But you know what? It turns out, you know, herO actually made remaxing on Stalkers and diving across the map look amazing, man. So herO really doing some cool stuff. This is a wall off. So guys, this is like a Roddy wall, right? So we actually just, funnily enough, I'm casting this on my stream right now, and Roddy just raided this up, and it's fortuitous timing, because for those who don't know, Roddy is famous for having some of the worst wall-offs you've literally ever seen in PvZ. But he's aware of it, so it works, because it baits people into baneling busting, and then they realize he builds like a forge or something behind it. And they're like, what? Why do you have a forge reinforcing the weak point in your wall? And he's like, it was a trap. And you're just like, yeah, this is a super weird wall. So then he's gonna need to build another pile there. So he's gonna have 2 weak points in the wall. So weird, man. I remember Nina Puck back when I used to practice with her back in the day, like many years ago. She used to fucking leave a hole in her wall, nothing in the wall, and I'd be like, oh cool, and I'd run in with zerglings, and she'd have a sentry on the high ground, and she'd fucking force field both sides and trap my 10 zergs. She'd create like a really long choke, and she'd trap like 10 zerglings. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. I was like, what if you're not looking at those few seconds and the lings get in? And she's just like giggling, and I'm like, mother friggin' piece of shit. I was like, the psychological damage of pulling off a trick like that, it ruins your opponent. Like the Zerg will just be so triggered. Now, Dark is a guy who does like to all in. He sees this janky ass wall. I don't know what he's thinking seeing that. I would be thinking, okay, let's be cautious. But Dark is of course a bit of a YOLO lord himself sometimes. Now this probe here, it's gonna go down. So yeah, a bit too greedy there. Unable to deny that. Sometimes you will see him go for the pylon block and then shade the adept in to deny that third base, but you usually need to go cybercore before Nexus for that, which I don't think he did this time around. Not that I was paying attention to though, because I'm a noob. Adept goes in. Oh, doesn't quite get that shot off, but you know what? Just creating a little bit of havoc in between the rallies, not too bad. Sees the third base, and your job here is just to keep the Zerg on their toes, maybe make him miss an inject or so. But the Queen's shepherding. herO could try to shade into this base since the Queen's come so far off creep. Oracle is on the way right now. Second Adept's going to arrive, so we're going to have that 2 Adept join up here. Fighting the Queen usually doesn't seem smart, but when you realize that your Oracles can actually overwhelm the Queens, that's something herO sometimes goes for. So a word of warning, guys, if someone's Adepts are suspiciously hitting your Queens, they're probably just a noob who's not paying attention. But if it's herO, he might actually be looking for the follow-up dive. 3 kills, can he get a 4th? Oh, bad Spore Trick placement for Dark. He needed to place it off to the right there. He didn't get it down in time. 4 drones going down, that's some good damage. And the Oracle's here, there's only 1 Queen. Oh, pretty nice Oracle micro. Oh my God, 5 more kills, but let's take a bit of damage on the Oracle. It's not gonna have easy damage in the follow-up. Spore's only now going down, so on the, oh my God. Dark's on 25 workers. What? How many lings did he build? What the hell? He's trying to do like a little ling attack, and he denies the third momentarily, but like, dude, his economy is absolute ass. Like right now, oh my God, Dark's economy is trash. He's going super quick lair though, so he's gonna do a Chadray Annihilator. I'm almost certain of it, that he's gonna do a Queenling Nidus all in, because I don't really know how else you'd salvage this economic start. These lings, they'll get an Adept, but I mean, at what cost? So many lings for 1 Adept is not that great. You know, that was 8 lings, maybe 7 for 1 Adept. The other 2 died in the main base earlier, killing drones. There's 2 Oracles out right now. There's no Spore on that third, so it's an easy weak point. herO hasn't taken advantage of it. He could dive on the Queens. Definitely could do that. The Oracles are threatening right now. He's going to go around into the main base by the looks of it. The Adepts are going past. Plenty of Zerglings are here. Dark's recovering his economy. If anyone can come back from such a bad start, it's definitely Dark. The Adepts go in and get surrounded, and he does immediately go for the Nidus. I knew it. Yeah, as soon as we saw that fast lair, especially off his shitty situation, he kind of needs to all in. The thing is, herO's committed so much to the Adepts and the Oracles, and he hasn't found follow-up damage. So herO might be over-committing and throwing units away, which is really bad, Because we know there's a super quick lair, and hero's not scouting. He hasn't been back into that main base in like 3 minutes. Oh, Adept there on the natural. Okay, okay. And you know what? Don't waste the Oracle energy. It's going to be inside his main. Now, I don't think there's enough vision there, or gap in the vision. I think the Nidus will be spotted as it goes up. But this is Mass Queenling Nidus. Dark doing it off a lower economy than he normally does. He's doing my version of the build, but he's hitting about 40 seconds later than it should because his opening took so much damage. Nidus Worm goes up, immediate recall on the Oracles, and they should be able to just blitz that first Nidus Worm down. But look at that. Adepts do get caught out in the open. He only turns on 2 Oracles. Oh, that's some big brain shit right there. If he turned on all of his Oracles, he'd be in trouble. Natural! Oh my god! Okay, just turn on 1 Oracle at a time, I think, is the way to go here. He should try to stop the Nidus getting up, though. He's got to stop that Nidus getting up. Uh-oh. Okay, he's going to turn on every single Oracle, but that means he's using up all their energy, guys. Oh, he's got to turn some of these Oracles off and save their energy for later. It's the follow-up that could get herO in trouble. I think herO should be fine because he's got 3 more gateways about to finish, so he'll be on 5 gates. And he's spreading the Oracles now. He's turned off those laser beams on most of them. This one still has its laser beam on. Those 2 Oracles don't really have any energy. That Nidus Worm's going to get up. Is that the end of the... Oh, no, it isn't. Void Ray's there. Prismatic Alignment goes on. Adepts are still dealing with those Zerglings. The battery did get sniped on this base, but that Nidus Worm pops before it can finish. And it looks like here this has been held. herO's opening just a bit too good. Back to droning for Dark. So now Dark is going to play the most budget macro game of all time, guys. herO is part of the upper class. He's showing up to a refined charity event, a dinner event, you know. He's paid his seat, $3,000 a ticket. Meanwhile, Dark was brought in as part of the community outreach, and he's just gone and bought himself a $3 suit from the discount recycled store. He doesn't look like he fits in, but he's going to do his best. He's going to walk in. He's going to walk. He's going to, you know, walk the talk and talk the walk. He's going to be like, oh yes, how about those stonks? Ha 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 ha. Basically, that's what Dark has to do in this game. He's got to try and mingle with the rich Protoss and try to act like he somehow fits in with them. I don't know how he could possibly make it work, but hey, it's Dark. He's a Chad. Oh, okay, gets 1 Oracle. Oh, Transfusi. No Transfusi, bad micro, but gets 2 Oracles. The Oracles don't really kill any drones, so a bit of a waste there for herO. If he just went up there, he could have killed that 4th hatchery, would have been much more valuable. herO is going to charge, +1, 8 gateways now. Say 8? 9 gateways, in fact, on the way. Doesn't really have any splash damage, only now building a robo. I do think herO can take a 4th base, and indeed he also thinks that. He's going to move across the map with this army, and the Oracle's there. Void Ray out here looking for more Nidus Worms, but that 4th base, Dark has it in his eyes. He's going to run in and see what he can do. Now, I would normally be talking about this in terms of if Zerg wins from here, you know, they're broken or Dark's broken, but we already saw herO resurrect himself from a pretty terrible fight at max out in that last game. And both of these players are so capable of comebacks. They're so volatile. They understand how to play really high risk reward, how to read the game and cut all the corners that they can ignore. You know, there's a lot of players who just see StarCraft as a bit of like, even very high level players, like you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. These 2 players are much more flexible than that. And as a result, they are more capable of making incredible comebacks. As it is, 5 Ravagers and 30 Zerglings, not exactly a fearsome army. A few Archons added in will destroy this army so hard. 4th is up with 2 cannons and a battery. A little clumped, so very weak to Banelings and also Ravager Biles. You could technically bile all 3 structures with 1 bile right there. Zealot's getting surrounded by the Lings. I don't know if you can really fight this though as Dark, especially with the Archons coming in. +2, Immortals on the way, more probes. Definitely an economy advantage for the Protoss. I like the way hero's playing this as like, I'm going to distract you and stop you from droning game. He's playing it that way. He's saying, you know what? I'm just going to distract you from droning and harass and keep you busy. And especially if he adds Storm or Disruptors, that'll play really well. herO, though, does, like, you know, I always give that same example of him just being led not always by the calmest thoughts, but often by a little bit of an over-eagerness to just jam his army into any choke point it can find. Now, he's going Stargate Carrier transition off no splash damage. I think this is either genius or terrible, and I can't quite decide which one. So let me give you guys my thought process. usually, obviously, you should go splash damage first so you can defend Ravagers and Banes and Mastlings and all this stuff, right? But I think he's of the opinion that, look, I have like more stuff than the Zerg, essentially, because I'm just up on economy all game. I can defend with just Immortals, Archons, Cannons, Batteries, some Zealots, whatever. I've got Oracles. He's not going to be able to push off creep because I got Oracles as well. And if I just go straight to carriers, there's no way he can deal with it. I can just get out like four carriers, 6 carriers, do a push. There's no way he can afford the Corruptors to deal with that, and that'll be great. Now, of course, if you're doing that, you shouldn't push on creep. You should not push on creep. This is a crazy move for herO. He doesn't have any stasis traps to fall back on either. But he does have Zealots threatening on the right side. 4 base Dark. He's gone to 73 workers. Infestations on the way. He's building spores around to try and help him defend against Oracles and against this army. A few Banelings roll in, but the Immortals and the Archons are like, dude, yeah, there's no High Templar for us to even defend. Now, the Stargates have finished. Finally, those carriers do start. He's got his +1 weapons already going. Zealots on the right side do get surrounded. They are taking a pretty bad fight. The melee Zerglings with the Roaches behind him look good, but a Zealot warp in and the other army coming in. And the Oracles do tag that. They track exactly where that army is. One Zealot's going to fly in forwards. Dark finds himself behind it on the back foot. And this is a pretty consistent story in the last few months of Dark's PvZ. He is always finding himself behind that. Guys, why does herO siege that up there? The reason is because he F2s a lot. So if he doesn't do that, we know that Prism's just going to fly through the queens and die. So this is a very necessary mechanic that he has to take advantage of there. Same reason why you see Terran Siege a Liberator in the back of the base, so that it can't move until you actually manually go and tell it to unsiege and move. Zealots are going to get overwhelmed. Wants to pull these back. herO, back to the Cannons and Batteries, mate. A few Archons will help out a lot against that sort of force. 11 more drones, Pathogen Glands. Dark's going to try and play late game. He says, I beat you in the late game fight last time. I can do it again. But there is already 3 carriers out, and I feel like you get 3 more carriers and you push, and that is a beautiful timing. Maybe kill a Stalker or a Zealot here. Yep, you see that? He just killed a unit so that he could queue up another carrier, but he doesn't queue the carrier? Yes, he does. There we go. Okay, so he's going to go for a 6 carrier +1 timing. I do want to also see +2 start straight away. I think that's an incredibly important upgrade here for herO. And he should have a timing available to kill the Zerg. I think late game timing attacks are one of the weakest areas of high-level Protoss players right now. Remember, I was talking about how I've been discussing with MaxPax how you can go to the Stargate earlier. But if you're ahead in the game, it should always be with the idea of, I want to turn that into a big attack. Right now, there's 8 Queens and a handful of Spore Crawlers. There's nothing else that shoots up for the Zerg. They cannot defend carriers right now. Even right now, if the carriers just moved in here, even 3 carriers, there's no answer to it. But there's something that is being missed so regularly, then they're giving the Zerg time to drone up, make spores, add infestors, add corruptors. And that is why I've been a little bit ranty in my PvZ casting, the Trap vs. Dark series I cast the other week, because I'm watching these Protoss players who are so far ahead and they're just a bit slow to hit the carrier timing. herO apparently has learnt the lesson from that and says, you know what? You don't have anything that shoots up. I can kill you right now. And that is absolutely the way to do it. Pushing in, forcing some really awkward trades for the Zerg player, dodging those Biles. He's got more High Templar with Storm coming in from behind, more Zealots as well. A few Queens and Spores, all that's left. The Biles, ooh, some Biles blanket the army, even taking out a High Templar. Oh, nice. Storm does go down, but necessary to pull back here for the Protoss player. The thing is, this is easy to replenish. You don't need to break him. You've already taken good trades. I think this is definitely the time to back off for herO, and herO does overstay as well, loses all of his Immortals and Archons, so definitely overstays, but he can remax, guys. He's got a 5th base, he's got a 6th base going up and finishing, and it's still equal work accounts, which is not great for the Zerg. Would have been cool to see this Prism fly along the back and warp Zealots in the main during that. That would have been very nice. Didn't pull that off. 6 more High Templar warped in for Storm. So we're going 9 carriers. Wow. And Dark's going to try and deal with it with Infestor Ravager. Because he hasn't even built a Spire, guys. I think Dark is so poor that he's like, I have to defend with Biles? I don't think that's going to work, mate. How many spores has he built? 9? 9 spores. I mean, you just don't have enough things to shoot up. The Interceptor firepower will win this game, I believe. Oracles find a big run by getting ready, but 2 Cannons, 2 Batteries, 2 Zealots, and now a few Void Rays to help out cancel that morph. It's probably the best move for Dark. Dark runs forward on the right with some Ravager harass on the worker line. Very cute. And wait, what? You saw this coming a mile away. Oh no, herO getting distracted. At least the Banelings don't get the workers. I mean, it's not the worst trade. It's just minerals that you lose there. So ends up being pretty even, which herO's okay with. Definitely thought he would warp in a sentry or something there. I guess on the plus side, if he warps in a sentry, Dark might just blow up on the cyber core and kill the upgrade. And he does really want that +2 to finish and now the +3 to start up. Roach Ravager runs in. Oh my god, the bile! Oh, he kills one air unit, almost gets the carrier, but not quite. More units assaulting the natural. If he can kill that cyber core, that is a very valuable snipe. The probe's transferring through it. Ooh, nasty. And he does lose this +3 upgrade. Luckily for him, +2 already finished. +3 had just started. So this will get cleaned up. The oracles are back there. herO defending right now, but all that's important for Dark is that he's buying time. He's got 12 queens with 7 infestors, so he's going to use Microbial Shroud. And he's just going to say, look, I can't kill the carriers, but I can just survive with Microbial Shroud. The real threat for Dark is that he won't have enough spores. So I want to see Dark build like 6 more spores here, 10 more spores up here, and try to do some stuff with that. I really think he's going to need that. Now, he's got Ultras. The idea is he's got 3 Ultras. They will run in and just kill the High Templar. As long as he has enough Overseers, 4 Overseers should be good. So the Ling Ultra clears all those out, and then the Queens and the Infestors use Neural on the carriers, Microbial Shroud on the Queens, Transfuses, and you just got this very tanky anti-air force. Now, his army's moving up to the top. He doesn't realize this army's just off creep there. Taking his time is herO, though. He's now got that 9 carrier timing, which I thought could have hit a few minutes ago. He's going to move forward. It's still a lot of firepower, and if it lands some good storms, if the Microbial Shrouds aren't quick, it's very hard to deal with for the Zerg player. No Corruptors, so there's no way to snipe the carriers. It's all about getting everything set up just right. Big Ling run by will go in. He can go into the main. There's only 2 cannons and a battery there. Remember, these are 3-1 Adrenal Zerglings, but... Oh! Big Fungal Bile combo! Oh my god, he almost killed the carriers! Once again, Dark trying to bloody counter Sky Toss. Just with his Ravagers, and that's it, man. Oh my god. Okay, so what do we got? We've got 9 carriers, 3 Tempests. Okay, herO spreads his army out there. Maulings and Banes are being made. Dark's like, you know what? You can't break me, I don't think. So I'm just going to keep making Massling Bane and trying to kill your stuff. A random Bile there. Maybe he thought there was an Observer. I'm not quite sure. DT Shrine comes in. Tectonic destabilizers. +3 air weapons now restarting. Massling Bane. Oh, man. This is his first time seeing this. He's got to kill the Pylon. Kill the Pylon. Oh, he doesn't quite get it. You got to click the Pylon. Army in the top left comes in. Biles do scare him back momentarily. He's going to overwhelm with the masses of Zerglings. Zerglings are a very good unit. Feedback pops 2 Infestors. Ooh, good Fungal. The Bile zoning out a little bit. Whoa, this is a very important fight. The High Templar keeping alive there. The Queens are on the far left side. Interceptors coming in from every single angle. The Ravagers and Ultras are keeping those High Templar back. The High Templar can't get in range of the anti-air units. Biles do land again. These carriers are all very bruised, but those Queens not in Microbial Shroud right now. Oh, he's got to watch out. If Microbial Shroud runs out, he just gets overwhelmed. The Interceptors are doing so little damage to these +2 Carapace Queens, but now Microbial Shroud's gone, and that's when the Queens are going to get overrun. Remember, there's no spores here. He's trying to rebuild his Infestors, but he can't build Corruptors right now against what is a pure air army. And herO is like, well, okay, yeah, you can beat my ground, but you can't beat what's in the skies right now. And he's going to try to run forward. Dark, the crazy lad, he's actually clicking on a carrier right there. Mass transfuse on the Queen, but look at that. As soon as the carriers start hitting him, there we go. Now, for those who don't know, by the way, guys. Ooh. Ah, okay. 10 probes, not bad. He cleared the bottom right as well. Dark really ruining herO's economy. And he keeps the top left base alive, so he can transfer workers there. He's still got a good work account. Of course, he's going to lose the bottom side now. Ooh, popping the Infestors. Both of those do go down as well as the Ultra. Dark is trying to play a very dicey style. He's got 13 Queens, 13 Infestors. He builds his first Corruptor right now. But that's more of an afterthought. He needs enough Ultras to clear these Archons. Lings run in. Even more probes are going down. There's still burrowed Zerglings at the bottom right. The Prism is in the back of the base, but the Queens are there. Army pushing on forwards. herO was so far ahead earlier in this game, but Dark is a wily mother trucker, and he knows how to get himself back into a situation. Look at that. Microbial Shroud on both the Queens and the Ultras. Oh, Neural will go down, but the Observer's there. Watch out. The Infestors go a little too far forward. The Ultras are starting to clear up some of these Archons. Great Fungals on some of these Interceptors when they're Omega clumped. But dude, there's just not enough firepower. Queens cannot clear 80 Interceptors. There's just too many Interceptors. The Archons on the ground causing problems as well. More Ultras trying to come out. Dark is trying to piece this together with a budget army. He's managed to clink glasses with the rich folk and make it look like a decent situation for a little while. But in the end, dude, they pull out that Black Amex card. and they say, what the fuck? Where your car didn't even get parked with the valet. You don't even have your fucking black Amex, you piece of shit. You don't have a servant. And also you can't recognize the 60-year vintage wines. You're not one of us. Get the heck out. Dark, he did a really good job. He's still hanging on. He's still got a big supply. I just don't see how he ever clears this army. He's still killing the economy and the workers of herO, but eventually the queens fall because they're just not getting enough impact. You can see how slow that interceptor count grows. And remember, those interceptors are rebuilding. So that count will go back up. Even though some of them died, there's enough firepower, and they will absolutely do it. herO, 21 minutes to finish off a game, which I thought he kind of won at the 7-minute mark. That is a testament to how much of a Chad gamer Dark is. But herO now with a 2-0 lead, looking for the 3-0 dominance. Now, this is a small map. herO, once again, is going through one of these super weird walls. So he can build a cybercore like there, and then I guess he just builds another like pylon down here. herO really enjoys his super strange wall-offs. Sometimes they're very nice because, I mean, you could very easily just put another building behind that, right? That's what's always good about having the pylon in the wall. It just means the second part of the wall is always a little bit wonky. Now, very short rush distance from this third hatchery as well. Dark has been getting hammered, man. I feel like he's finding himself behind. He's fighting back well. But how about we just don't end up behind? Now, something I've been criticizing Dark for a long time is this drone. He just chases the probe, but instead, he could be pulling off drone to intercept it. So like when it comes around here, what you do is you pull this drone and you get a hit off on it there, and then you put that drone back to mining. You guys see me do this all the time on my stream, and I get a lot more mining going here. Get about an extra 20 minerals while negating him bouncing my drones off the patch like that. You see Dark didn't counter micro that, and Dark's been way under saturation for a long time here. Now, he does have a very quick ling speed, but he's got a, yeah, and he's not pulling off gas, interestingly. herO doesn't see him pull off gas either, so that might be a bit of a tell. Are we just Bane busting or something? Hello? Still mining gas, or is it a 2-base build? Super weird build order. Not seeing the drones transfer should ring alarm bells for herO. You should be seeing those workers transfer, even if it's a fake one. They now pull off after 50 gas gets mined. So Dark could just be a little late on that. Remember, it's Dark. His build orders are very sloppy at the start, and he does put himself in a very nasty position. That Overlord finally popping here at 2 minutes 40. Third hatchery goes in. So he's going 28 third hatch. Very quick third hatchery. 6 more lings on the way. He's just going to ling flood, guys. Super basic ling flood. He's just like, nope, that's, yep, we got to do it. I don't know why the queen isn't defending the adept. Adept could have maybe continued there. As it is, queen's coming out. He's going to have to change these lings to rally to the back of the base. You can't let the adept see this. Oh, the adept sees the lings popping out. This should be a really easy hold right now. But does he not realize? Does he not realize it's a ling flood? Hello, you just saw 4 lings in the main. You've already seen 4 lings at the third. You think he's already building 8 lings at 3 minutes for 2 adepts? There's no way. Leaving nothing at home. No Wolf. He does have the Oracle rallied across the map as well. herO right now with a complete boner. Absolutely zero caution. The adept. Oh, it gets in the wall, but it's going to die too quickly because the lings get in. herO literally spots lings popping out in the main super early, and he thought, oh, it's just lings to defend my early to adept pressure. herO's in such an aggressive mindset. He's got to get that pylon up in the wall. He gets it. Pylon in the wall. He does get the pylon in the wall, but these adepts are getting run down. If he can shade away with those and then recall them, it would be great. He needs something behind his wall. He loses one of them. The Oracle runs out of energy. He's got another Oracle on the way, but look at that. That's going to get depowered. Now, he is going to recall the adept. He's trying to re-wall here his herO, but that pylon on the left side will go down. Adept doing some damage. Probes are pulled here to defend the main Stargate, but they need to get back to mining. Look at this micro from Dark. He's just wasting mining time as much as he can. Is that a wall off? Is it? Oh man, shield batteries don't have many hit points as well. That's not the right building to wall off with. They're the lowest hit point building. Even pylons would have been better there. Uh-oh, herO is in big trouble. The lings are flooding in. Going after the Stargate there. The Oracle still has its laser beam on. Probes are being forced to fight. Has he re-walled? He hasn't got the re-wall up. The adepts are trying to defend, but they're not in range of the shield battery. Okay, this one is now in range of the shield battery, but the shield battery itself is getting focused down, as will the other shield battery. And with the Oracles both out of energy, no more Oracle building. herO here getting taken out by an all-in despite spotting the lings popping out, not playing safe at all. Way too aggressive. And he does get caught out. Nice all-in from Dark, hiding those lings on the bottom side of the map, relying on herO's over-aggression and lack of defensive responsibility. Gets a nice easy point on the board. All right, guys, he's back in the series. He's going to send a drone across. Is he going to hatch block maybe? Interesting. Oh, he sent the drone on a very weird path. Dark is always really weird. Is he going to hatch block? I hope he does, guys. This is Dark in the bottom left, and he's going to go hatch first. Now, that's a 17 hatch because he's sending a drone across. If you're going to do something crazy like a hatch block, you might as well just get the 16 workers up on minerals nice and early. He shows up, he sees the gateway. The gateway cannot see him until it finishes. It has very short vision, and he'll go in at about 200 minerals. So you see here, just past 200 minerals, and he goes in, and he's going to hatch block him. herO, of course, sees it with the pylon, immediately pulls 2 probes, but he can't get that block down in time. The hatchery is going to go down, and this is essentially a 3 hatchery before pull. Some people would answer with a forge and go across the map and try to cannon rush, but because he doesn't have a probe on the map, hero's going to opt for a 2-gate, 1-base opening. So he's going to go Cybercore. Where's his second pylon? herO? Okay. Guess he's not going to build a Zealot. Interesting. He's just going to go straight for the 2 Adepts. Now, he's got only 1 worker on gas. That's the right way to do it. Because you're pulling so many probes to kill this, you do need to focus on the minerals. But he's losing a lot of mining time. You can see that the income right now way bigger for Dark in that top left side of the map. Yes, his pool and gas is really late, though. So dealing with the first 2 Adepts is a bit troublesome. This is a longer rush distance map, though. Cancels the hatch and starts at Evo Chamber. A much cheaper structure. Looks like they had a quick little pause there. And it looks like someone lagged at a very inopportune moment. But here we go. Evo Chamber. You can see that thing has so many hit points. It does not die easy. And now I think he's denied it long enough that he's like, you know what? If you build 2 Adepts, you can't even afford a Nexus immediately. herO says, yes, I can, because I skipped Warp Gate, wasn't mining gas, 16 workers on minerals this whole time. Take the second gas before the drone can steal it. Very nice play here. No double chrono, though. I'm surprised he didn't double chrono the Adepts across the map, because the Queens have just started, right? The earlier you get these Adepts out, if you can shave 5-10 seconds off that, that's pretty huge, man. I do, there's a point from Wriggle. I've always wondered about drip feeding those probes in a few at a time. Why not just pull all the probes at once and kill it? That's something I've always thought about. I think the reason is if you pull too many probes, unless you pull like 10 at once and you just only go 1 gate, Cybercore, if you go 2nd gate, pull 10 probes to kill it, you won't even be able to build the Nexus. So they can cancel it, run around with the drone. You have to go back to mine minerals, and by the time you do, they'll come back and block it again. So definitely, if you want to do the counter pressure, you got to do this. Now, he does cancel it because he's forcing lings. That's what these Adepts do. Forces an abundance of Zerglings out of Dark. And herO is going to go Twilight Council behind this. He says, hey, I've already got Adepts threatening. Might as well. 3rd base is on the way at a good time, though. So I feel like Dark can go back to droning safely now. He's a little supply blocked on 36, and you can see that the worker count is ahead for herO. So as much as some people are like, oh, this is the best. It's so good. When the Ling got in and saw the Twilight Council, you know, they're like, oh, so good. Zerg should be way ahead. 3 base versus 2 base. It's like, your drone count's not the greatest, man. But he has Ling speed, so if he can get us around on the Adepts, and look at this, he bypasses them because he knows he's going to shade backwards. But 4 Adepts will be able to handle 12 Zerglings, unless the Zerglings just run into the wall. Oh, my. Okay, very cheeky. He can just wait for these to leave and then try to run in. But what if the Adepts dive into his mineral line? There's nothing at home to defend, right? Ooh, of course, the thing is, herO assumes the Zerglings are nearby and just hiding their numbers. So committing to a shade there would be crazy. So Dark is relying on herO doing the responsible thing. Now, these Adepts are going to shade backwards. herO doesn't know about these Zerglings being just cheeky dickheads. They're looking for the surround. They're going to get it. He gets a surround. Great angle on those first 2 Adepts. The other ones will go down as well. Okay, 1 Adept recalls out. Great snap recall from herO, but look at the Ling split. Oh, great Ling split here. Nice moves by Dark, who does end up losing only 7 Zerglings for 3 Adepts. A very good trade. 3-gate Glaives is out behind this, going up to the rowboat, the 4th Gas Geyser. Very similar work accounts. Evo and Bane Nest. Oh, Dark is going to go for that real volatile style. Oh, the Massling Bane answer to this is kind of crazy. He builds a Spine on his 3rd. He's making melee, a 5th Queen. And remember, it's Dark, so there's always the chance of him just, if he kills the Adepts, making 10 Banelings and trying to bust in, kill your 3rd, kill your natural at the same time. This is going to be really exciting to see. 2 Stargates on the way. herO is going to go for that Phoenix follow-up most likely, but starting at 5 minutes, I have to question this. Even though this game is obviously delayed from where players would normally be at this point based on the game timer, I have to look at this and say to myself, like, okay, cool. The game's delayed, but I don't think you can go Phoenix this late. I think you need to go for a 3rd base. Maybe Oracles? Oh, man, I don't know. Stargate Tech just feels a little bit too late because On the other hand, Dark's economy is low. His economy is only at 46 workers, but if Dark can hold down that worker key, you're going to struggle. Adepts are making... Third Nexus will be going down, which is very good, of course. And Adepts could shade across the map. He's going to send a Prism to harass the main, some other Adepts to attack on the third. Banelings are morphing. Very good at hitting those Adepts if they are clumped up. Now, the first Phoenix is starting, but you can see he's starving for money. Does need to get another pylon going as well. Adepts on that right side. Can Dark get a big surround or something like this? Melee, of course, won't be ready for a little while. He's sending all of his lings across the map. Oh, Dark, you Chad gamer. He's going to try and defend the Adepts with the Queens and the Banelings pretty much alone. He's going to go for a big counterattack to cancel the third. Now, obviously, Adepts, a battery, Adepts in choke points defends this pretty well, but he does not have Adepts at home. He's thinking, once again, fully aggressively as herO. And, not the best spready on the Adepts. Does take a few Banelings to the face. Adepts are dropping in there. Adepts came in on the third, but good pull on the drones. Adept warping in the main is doing damage. Lings do go in, cancel the third base. I don't think losing the third's too bad if you can kill a whole bunch of these workers. The Banelings do take out one more Adept there, but Natural's in trouble. Does wall off there with a pylon and his shield battery. Those are both very vulnerable structures, though. That's a terrible wall off. He needs a sentry right now or he's getting broken, guys. Those Lings can take this wall down. He does warp in a sentry, but his wall off's getting breached right now. Adepts are going to get taken out in the main. He's got to focus on his wall off at home. That gateway needs to force field right now. He still hasn't re-walled. herO not looking at home. He's microing his Adepts in the base, and even though he gets his Prism out of there, he's taking big damage right now. He's going to try and recall some more Adepts. He hasn't lost too many probes just yet. Oh my god, the melee Zergling's very dangerous, but they haven't found the damage. They do see the Phoenix play, which is very important. But guess what? More Lings are coming, and there is only one gateway left. He needs to make Oracles and Void Rays. He's just gonna get overrun by melee Zerglings. Dark with the big old counterattack, and herO, once again, too focused on the aggression. Dark just says, hey, dude, you can't just focus on slowing me down. If you do that every game, I will simply be the one who also damages you. Baneling says, hello! Hello! 20 probes go down to one big Baneling. 4 probes escape with tails of dirty, dirty acid being just smashed over their friends' faces. And, damn, dude. Damn. Dark only 43 workers. His opponent, though, on 22. I will take that any day. The Phoenix going across the map. A few Adepts and Immortals just hanging at the front of the base. Phoenix, any Overlord they kill is obviously like pretty valuable in a low economy situation. Problem is that herO's economy is so shite. So shite. I would probably try to go to Templar Archives and Archons. If you can get an Archon push, Archons counter Ling Bane so hard that you might be able to do something, but with 8 Queens already on the field, plenty of Spores as well. 4 Spores in the main? Oh my god, herO's like, what the hell, dude? How many of these did you build? It's making a sentry right now. Not sure what that's for. Sentry's not going to do anything against Lings and Banes, really. Phoenix not finding as much damage as they need to. 29 probes versus 51 drones. And he's building his second gateway at the 9-minute mark. That is not a sign of a strong Protoss player. That is a sign of a dead Protoss player. And I think at this point, Dark is, he's kind of just making these weird moaning, singing noises. herO's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Dark's like, get out, you're dead. herO's like, no, this will not be my death dirge. I can still make the comeback. I can do it. Dark is like, dude, you're so dead, just leave. You're so dead. herO's like, I killed 2 more drones. And he's like, yeah, you lost a Phoenix for it though. Come on, get out, man. You are done. He's gonna try and go Robo Bay. I like sticking in there and fighting hard, but yeah, he's super dead. The only thing I'd be worried about is Dark is checking the corners. I'd be like, maybe he has a corner base. Other than that, though, yeah, gonna retake the third at 9 minutes 30. 4th base is on the way for Dark, who's making +2 melee, roach speed. And, yeah, I mean, Colossus counters Lings and Banes pretty well. Dark's gonna be able to just build anything, though. he could go Hive from here, even. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. Queens are coming on in. It's another Phoenix going down, man. He does get 4 drones, but for a Phoenix, it's ugh. And the third gets killed, not even cancelled, man.
Thanks for the Bezos box.
Ooh, that's rough. That is rough. Infestation bit on the way, second Evo as well. So 2 games in a row now. Let's just kind of think about. Dark is not. He's basically just gone hyper aggressive on the counterattacks. And hero's got caught out. And this puts hero in a dangerous position because his whole style is just flowing non-stop aggression. And it seems like he's going to need to do a bit more scouting. Oh, no. Okay. Force fields do at least keep the sentries alive. He warps in 3 more. So he's going to do a mass force field push with a disruptor, not even a Colossus. Okay, so he's like, hey, if I have enough force fields, you can't actually get in melee with my army. Dark unfortunately sees this and is already making ravages at home, so it's definitely not going to work. But I like the idea. I like that he's trying. Hero's like, maybe, just maybe. He's going to even get prism speed, because why not? 1 disruptor, 4 phoenix, 9 sentries, and a dream, man. And he turns around and goes home. Okay, just go kill him, Dark. All right, just go kill him, mate. Yeah, so anyway, thinking about the earlier game, right? In this game, what went wrong for hero? He was going for the aggression, you know, the adepts, but then those zerglings coming around and canceling his third while he was doing his glaive adepts definitely put him in a bit of a compromised position. And I mean, not having a battery or even a single adept at that third to kill some of those lings. But then it was really just his defense on his wall off, right? He was just, I think, a little too slow to wall off. He only had 3 gateways, so he was pretty light on production. Oh, you're kidding me! I didn't think that was gonna land! Dark is like, get out of my game. Hero right now is like, no, 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 screw you, I can still win. Dark's like, leave. Seriously, dude. He finally capitulates. We're going to the final map. Well, he's on the comeback train and he says, look, if you're only focused on attacking, guess what? I'm going to counterpunch you. It's a great way to take advantage of his opponent. Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark in the bottom right. Hero in the top left. I think there's a lot of sports teams like this. There's a lot of fighters who just look god tier when they're on the aggression. There's a lot of StarCraft players who encapsulate this. And then if you take that away from them and you don't just sit back and play purely defensive, and you just kind of wait for them to make those aggressive plays and then counter them in the right spot, you can really take away their win. Take the wind out of them, take their power away. That's exactly what Dark's going for here. Now, Dark, once again, looks like he wants to do that hatchery block play. He feels like, hey, I think I was ahead in that game. I don't think Hero handled that well at all. And oh, he's actually going offensive proxy hatch, but hatch first. It's much better if you go gas pool into the proxy hatch. So interesting build order from Dark. I think he's just going to go gas pool in a moment here, is the way he's planning to do this. This is a fake drone. Hero's looking around right now. He's like, what is going on? He should be scouting for this. And indeed he does. He sees it. This should actually be a pretty easy thing to handle. So the problem with the hatch first is even though you can build spines earlier, you can't actually build zerglings in time to defend those spines. So Hero here can build a second pylon, which he's already building. He can pump out a zealot or 2 and start killing the drones and spines as they pop and damaging the hatchery. And what? Oh, there's no hole there? Okay, I guess that's solid. I thought there was a hole between those 2 gateways, so that's the hole. Okay, Probe is dancing around here. We've got the hatchery up on the front. So he's going to go Zealot Stalker and probably build some shield batteries. And the trick here is you stay 1 base. Now, if you want to pull behind your wall, you want to go a Robo to get some Immortals out because they will destroy spines and ravages and stuff. But we'll see how he goes. He's not opting for the Forge. A lot of people used to just go Forge here to completely shut it down. Dark does take a 3rd hatchery, which tells us he's looking for the over response. And I think he's found it. That pylon there forcing the awkward 3rd base. And it's like a 2-minute 3rd base. It's pretty late. Hero sees it. Hero going for a 2nd Zealot and an Adept here. Zergling building out of the front, but no Queen, no drones. He's not going to commit to the Spine Rush. Hero's quick to identify this, and you can tell he wants to go for that Nexus now. But he's going to kill this and then go for a 2 Zealot, 2 Adept counterattack. And, dude, there is a hole between these gateways, right? I don't know if my brain's breaking. Yeah, there's a hole! I mean, it's not my brain breaking! Oh my god, Hero's wall-offs have been a true thing of artistic, just absolute spasticity. Like, it really feels like he's just got shaky hands or something when he's putting his first buildings down. I don't know what the heck he's doing with his wall-offs today. Super weird pylon positioning. The Lings do get in and they distract the Adepts, and this is just to buy time, distract him a little bit. Oh, Ling gets the probe as it goes out. Very nicely done. 2 Lings for a probe, not bad. Zealot almost dies. 3 roaches are on the way. Wait, he's going roaches on the front. Oh, he's actually going all in. He's going ling speed. He's going to try and make these into Ravagers and do a ling flood. There's 2 holes in the wall. herO has not put a battery down yet. He thought those were zerglings that were about to pop. He had no idea. He hasn't built any stalkers. He thought this was a fake out. Dark. He pretended to fake him out and then went back into the delayed all in. Oh, and he's just going to start walking in there with the roaches, the Ravagers, the Zerglings. Remember, the Ravager also heals it up. He's going to try and depower. If he can depower that pylon, that would be huge. This is still very close, though, because probes can overwhelm such small numbers of units. The Adepts trap the roaches there, but no, he's going after the Ravager. The 2 Stalkers pop out. The probes are helping. 1 Adept falls. So does a Ravager, though. The other roach very low. The Lings are coming in, but this did not time out correctly. I actually think this would have been better for Dark if he built the roaches at home and it was more of a surprise. But hey, there are 2 holes in the wall. Any hole's a goal for these horny Zerg. herO going out of his wall in like a crazy man. Dude, I don't know why he moved out of his wall in there. I guess he wanted that Ravager really bad. But oh god, he's not in battery range. He's not in battery range. He's got to pull that Stalker back out of the wall because the batteries. That's the second time today he's also built the battery so far back that it wasn't healing the unit in the wall. Obviously, it keeps it safe from the biles, which is awesome. But it does mean that the Lings can kind of break through that wall. 2 Stalkers in the wall right now. More Lings flooding. Droning does start behind this. What an insane game 5 in this series. Dark with the fake out, man. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going for a proxy hatch. Scouted, responded. Okay, no worries. I'll just expand in macro. Oh wait, actually I am still going roaches and Lings. But I do think if he made roaches, walked across the map with Ravagers and then flooded in and just built some Zerglings from the front, I think he would have been a bit better off. It would have been hard to stop herO scouting it with his Adepts. But I think that would have been the better way in hindsight. I could see how it worked out in his head. It's just the timing was off by a few seconds. If he had 15 Lings come in as those 3 roaches popped, he would have killed the units, depowered the pylon. It would have been great. It's just his Ling rally and his Ling speed was a little bit too late to sync up with it. And that was the problem. So maybe he could have delayed starting those roaches a little bit. I'm not quite sure. Right now, down 13 workers going for wave 2 of the all-in. Dark is like, dude, I'm so far behind. We just got to go. We just got to go a Porto, you know? Two sentries, 5 stalkers here. That's such a good defensive force. Ooh. Oh. But it's not enough Zerglings to surround him, man. No, that's not going to get the surround. And the hallucination coming out. Oh, hide the roaches. Hide the roaches. Oh, interesting. Why is he going over here? What? It's the worst hallucination I've ever seen. Why didn't he check the front to see the army coming? That's so weird. Obviously, if he's going to have a base, it's there, not elsewhere. Anyway, get back in your wall, bro. Don't get surrounded. Dude, he's only making tech. He's only got these 2 gateways and these 7 units. He has no other production. It's all tech. Robo Bay, Forge, Twilight Council, probes, 4 gases. He's almost supply blocked right now. He's building another pylon and another battery. He realizes there's no drones on that expansion. I still think he's fine just because the batteries, the overcharge, the defensive position is probably too good. More stalkers warping in. He's got a disruptor on the way as well. I think he should probably go Colossus personally. No force fields going down yet, interestingly. Okay, 1 stalker is going to fall. No battery overcharge just yet, guys. There it is. It does go down. Biles letting in the Zerg. Where's the probe pull? I don't know. Oh, herO playing a bit dicey here, not pulling the probes to help with a damage output and tanking. But in the end, the Zerg army washes up at Dark. Tries to all in 3 games in a row. The game 4, the second game, was a little bit more reactive. But damn, what a crazy, crazy situation that was. I really love this whole interaction of like, you think it's a fake, but then it's not. So there's this point here, right? Whereas herO, you pull your probe back and you're like, yeah, you're expanding. It's a normal game. And in fact, if he sent that probe back in, he could have confirmed there's a roach horn and realized what was up. Now, the problem for Dark here is, like we said, Ling speed and actual Lings rallying across the map is really late. He doesn't even have a queen to help his production. And there's part of me that's like, you kind of should have a queen here just to get some lava injects going. He was trying to get this to go too early, I think. And it's obviously because he's worried about the hatchery dying and then losing this forward launch pad. And the thing is, this is just way too early. These guys are about 30 seconds earlier, and 3 roaches on their own is not going to beat a Protoss player. Great micro by herO, pulling back those weak units, immediately chronoed the stalkers, pulled the probes, built the batteries, and just really good defense. The Lings are finally arriving. But I'm telling you guys, that is not a Ling flood. That's a Ling trickle. Dark, he did some nice tinkles on the Nexus with his Corruptors earlier in this series, but in the end of the game, the Ling tinkle, not that impressive. Very well played by herO, though. Almost let slip this Grand Finals. What an incredible series, and what a fun set of games. That first game, just absolutely god tier, dude. I cannot believe how good that first game was. GG, well played to both these guys.